Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel, and this might be my favourite video that I'm ever going to film. As you can see from the title, today I'm going to be reading Hayley Pham's 5-star reads. Hayley Pham is literally the star of BookTube and I love her videos so much, so I just really wanted to film this video. I did actually get this idea from this YouTuber. I can't think of her name right now, but I love her videos, so you should definitely go check it out. I'm super excited for all these books in this video because I have a feeling they're going to be very highly rated because I really trust Hayley Pham's opinions. I do have 4 books, but I probably will only read 3 of them. First one I'm going to be reading is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter.
It was funny again, I was rooting for the characters, and I gave this one 5 stars again, which is amazing.
This is very short, so I feel like I can get through it today. I probably will end up staying up to finish it because I am in a very rubbish sleeping pattern at the moment. Such a fun plot. So this is basically about a girl who wakes up on Valentine's Day and has the worst Valentine's Day possible. She catches her boyfriend cheating on her. It's just an absolute terrible day for her. And then she goes to bed that night, wakes up, and it's the same day all over again. And she keeps having to repeat this day over and over again, every single day, and she can't get out of this time loop. But every day she does wake up on the same day, she bumps into this same boy every single time, called Nick, is it called? Yeah, she keeps bumping into Nick every time. Hopefully it's another 5-star. This is a 5-star prediction for me, so we'll see if I love it just as much as I love Better Than the Movies. A lot of people say Better Than the Movies is better than this, but I don't know, we'll see what I think. And Hayley Pham, her name is actually in Better Than the Movies, so she loves Lynn Painter's books, so I'm excited to read this one. I don't have that long to read right now because when Connor gets here we're going to make some spackbone, which I'm excited for, but I'm going to read later on. But I'm going to try and get through as much as I can before he gets home. Probably not much, but oh well, at least I get a head start. The opening line is so cute. For the lonely, the daydreamers, the ones who find their friends between the pages of books. You matter and your happy ending will come. Sometimes the wait is just longer in real life than in fiction. That is such a cute opening. Sometimes these bits are just the sweetest thing. I love reading them. Format as well. It says like confession #1, whereas in Better Than the Movies it was like each time was a quote from a movie, so each time this one's gonna have confessions at the start of each chapter, which is super fun. It's a lot later now, but I am up to page 119, chapter 10, or should I say confession 10, and I am loving it as expected. It's making me feel really giddy, which I was also expecting. The banter in Lynn Painter's writing, it's so fun, and the dynamic between Emily and Nick is so funny. Like, they're so funny together, which Liz and Wes in Better Than the Movies, they were also like that, but they are very different at the same time. I love her writing. But yeah, this is great so far. Basically I am up to the bit where her days are repeating constantly. I think I'm up to like I don't know how many times she's repeated the day now, but it's been a lot. And I was scared it's going to be a bit repetitive, and obviously there is parts that have happened before, because that's the whole point, but it's still really fun and isn't making me bored because it's repetitive, because it don't feel repetitive, because every day she's trying to do something different. I found it so funny how she keeps running into Nick every single day. Like, I just love that, because she literally cannot escape from him. No matter how hard she tries, she just can't escape from him. And now they do kind of have a connection. Like, they're still being their grumpy, bantery selves with each other, but they are more kind to each other now. I am planning on binging this whole thing tonight. Is that a good idea considering it's 2 o'clock in the morning right now and I'm only on page 119 and I still have over 200 pages? Probably not, but there's still a lot of pages. It's going to take me at least like 4 to 5 hours. But do I care? No, because I really want to read this in one sitting, and I'm in the worst sleeping pattern right now. I could quite easily do a 24-hour readathon. No problems. And I'm probably going to do that soon, because I stay up to read anyway. I feel like if you are a new reader, Lynn Painter is like the perfect person to start off with, because her writing is just so joyful and so easy to read. I'm up to a bit where Emily is just being a boss bitch, and she's just being so cool and powerful, because she's like, who cares, I'm just gonna say and do whatever the hell I want. And I just love that. Like, it's so fun seeing her being so confident and being herself and doing things that she probably usually wouldn't do because she has no consequences. But I feel like it's probably going to be a consequence. I've never really felt the need to binge a book before, but I just really want to binge this. Usually after like 150 pages to 200, I'm like, okay, I want to stop reading now and take a break, but I don't want to take a break from this. I am loving it. Not that I don't love the other books, even like my 5-star reads, I've took breaks from them. It's just sometimes my head's like, okay, I'm not taking this in anymore, I need to take a break, but I just can't take a break from this book. It's just so cute and I love it. It's just adorable. Why is this book the cutest thing ever? One thing I will say in this book, it is a little bit insta-lovey. It makes the couple feel less connected in a way, but I still love them so much. But that is just one of my cons. But you have to kind of expect that with this sort of plot line. But in the same way, Lynn Painter wrote it so well that it feels like they have literally known each other for a very long time. So it don't feel like it's only been a day for Nick, not so much for Emily. But yeah, I just feel that's my only iffy bit about this book. But other than that, I really love I love them so much. I can't stop smiling. That was the cutest thing ever. Like, I'm like, all the way through this book, my smile was from ear to ear. As expected, it was the same with Better Than the Movies. I just finished a do-over. This is the first book I've ever read in one sitting. And I'm so happy I did it, because I loved it so much. Is it 6 o'clock in the morning right now and I haven't been to sleep? Yeah. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not, because this was amazing. I do have a couple cons with it, but I'm trying to ignore them because of all the feelings this book gave me. Like, I want to give it a 5-star, but I think I'm going to give it a 4.5, just because there is a couple things that bother me about this book. Like, I love the plot where there's a repeating day all the time, but you also think like, oh, but she has all these memories with Nick and he doesn't remember them, and that just, it bothers me a tiny bit. I knew that anyway. I knew that was going to be a thing anyway, so I try not to let that affect my rating, because I love this plotline. It's so fun and just makes you feel so happy and giddy, as you saw. But also it was a bit insta-lovey as well. One thing I loved about this book, which was the same with Better Than the Movies, it literally felt like I was watching a movie. That is what her writing makes you feel like. You can literally imagine it all, because it's written like a movie. It's so good. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I did prefer Better Than the Movies, but I really love this book. If you want a book that's going to make you smile, this is the book for you. It was super funny as well. I was laughing out loud so many times, giggling so much. The writing, as I said earlier, is just great and is really fast paced and easy to read. Literally read it in one sitting, didn't get bored once. It didn't drag at all. It literally felt like I was reading it for like 2 hours because it was that good. But in reality, I was reading it for like 6 or 7 hours. Thank you, Hayley, for recommending this. Hayley's fan was the one that made me want to read Better Than Movies. I'm so glad I was introduced to Lynn Painter because she's definitely one of my favourite authors. Hi, so it is Thursday now and I'm going to start Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I can't tell you how excited I am for this.
This was like a perfect book. I rated it 5 stars easily, and I just haven't had a reading experience like this in so long. I read it in 3 days, loved every second of it.
This book just really intrigues me because the cover is just one of them, I think the prettiest cover that I own, to be honest. I've literally seen it all over TikTok, all over BookTube, and obviously on Hayley Fam's channel because she loves this book. This is going to be my first ever fantasy book. And I'm nervous, but I just have a feeling that I am going to love this book because I really trust Hayley Fam, as I've said in this video, and it also just sounds like a really fun plot. It doesn't sound like a plot that's going to have loads of politics in it, which is what really scares me about fantasy, because I don't think my little brain can take in fantasy, to be honest. Like, I really want to read it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to take it all in. But I'm going to say it here, I am going to try and read ACOTAR at some point because it's literally everywhere. But this is the one I'm going to start off with to get into the fantasy genre. You're meant to read Caraval before this, but you don't have to read it. It's a choice, and I've chosen not to read it just because everyone that I have actually seen read that hasn't rated it very high, and I just feel like I don't really need to put myself through that. But if I do love this book, then I might end up reading Caraval. I don't know, we'll see. Let's get into this beautiful book. Like, it just gets beautiful as soon as you open the book as well, because haha, that's so beautiful. Also, the opening sentence, for anyone who has ever made a bad decision because of a broken heart. That is so cute. I am obsessed with that. Like, I'm really obsessed with that. That is like the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. And also I can come back to this like if any of the places are mentioned, which would be nice. I'm on page 50 now, and I really enjoy this book because it's literally jumped into the plot straight away, which I love that, because I hate it when you read a book and the plot doesn't actually start till about 100 pages in, which is the case with a lot of books because obviously they have to set up the story and set up the characters. But I really like this because you're learning about the characters, but you're also getting the plot straight away, which is just really nice to see, because usually books do take a while for the plot to happen. All that's happened so far is Evangeline has met the Prince of Hearts, and she's also met another fate as well. And basically she strikes up a deal with the Prince of Hearts. After she makes this deal with the Prince of Hearts, she kind of regrets it. She feels like something isn't going to go right. She notices that things have gone very wrong. Obviously I'm not going to say what actually happens. Everyone thinks that she's a hero, but she actually has a big secret. Second fate that she met has warned her that now that she has brought herself into the fate world, she's going to really struggle to be apart from that, and she's going to be drawn to them, which sounds really interesting. I'm on page 109, chapter 14, and I love this book already. It is so good. Like, I can see myself finishing this tomorrow. Like, I feel like it's only going to take me 2 days to read because I just love it so much. It's very different to anything I've ever read before, and I'm really enjoying that. It's nice to read something different to romance, but this definitely is going to have hints of romance in it as well, which I love because romance is my favourite thing in books. Her writing, Stephanie Garber's writing, is so beautiful, but I like that it is so beautiful and complex, but it's also really easy to read, and she makes it so easy to imagine the things that are happening because her writing is so detailed, but it's not detailed in a way that's hard to understand. I'm going to say a prediction right now. It might be a bit of a brave prediction because I'm only on page 109, but I feel like this is going to be one of my favourite books out of this video, and in general it just really feels like it. But I am only on page 109, so that could change. We'll see what happens. The reason why I've never read fantasy is because I feel like it's going to be too political, it's going to be too serious, it's not going to be that fun. So I feel like if I do read fantasy, I'd be more into fantasies like this rather than the intense like fighting and, you know, stuff like that. I just think that the not so serious fantasy are probably going to be more my vibe. I'm still going to try out like the other more serious and political fantasies, but this one I'm glad I went into fantasy with this book. Is it bad that I love Jax's character because he's kind of evil, but I love that. I love how like charismatic and confident, yeah, I love his character, and I love when him and Evangeline have meetings as well, because I can really feel like the tenseness of the situation, and I'm just like, okay, what's Jack's gonna do this time? And that's really interesting. I just think I love his character because he's so mysterious and there's so much about him that I don't know yet, and I'm intrigued to find out. Stop reading for now, but I'm not far off being halfway, but I'm on chapter 20, page 151. In this book I'm really enjoying it because there's so many twists like all the time, and that just makes it so enjoyable to read. The not knowing what Jax is up to honestly just makes me want to keep reading, because I just really want to know what he's up to, like what is his plan with Evangeline, what is his motive. I don't have any theories of what Jax is up to. I really don't. I feel like he has a slight crush on Evangeline, but I don't know. But why would he be getting her to do these things? I'm so confused. What is he up to? I am over halfway now. If I could live in a book, this would be it. I just really, really want to live in this world. Like, it's such a beautiful fantasy world, and this is making me want to read more fantasies because the world that these are built in is just... That is my update. I don't really have much to say because I don't want to give spoilers. And it's getting more and more intense as I read. But not intense in like a scary way, intense in like a... like I'm so excited to pick this book up and read it and figure out what's going on. Yeah, once I've finished this, I'm definitely going to want to pick up the second book. I think this is going to be a trilogy as well, so I'm excited for that because I know I'm just going to want to keep being in this world and reading about this world because it's so magical and beautiful. And maybe I'll read Caramel. I'm still undecided on that, to be honest. And while I'm reading this, I'm listening to fantasy music and it's just such a vibe. I'm glad that when I finish this, I don't have to say goodbye to the world, because that would actually break my heart. Honestly, I've talked about this world so much now. I think I've done like 3 clips about it. I've probably cut it down to about 2 minutes, but yeah, basically I'm obsessed with this book and I'm obsessed with the world and I'm obsessed with this storyline. And I can't believe it took me this long to read this book, because I have had my eye on it since like January, I think, since I literally started reading. And then I saw that Hayley Fan read it. That's giving me more of an influence to read it now, because even she loves it. And I understand why now. And I'm not even finished. So that says it all, really. I'm gonna go now and stop ranting about how much I love this book. A parcels just came from Etsy from the paperback life, and I ordered 3 bookmarks and I can't wait to see them. Oh, the packaging's so cute. It says "Go away, I'm reading" with like sparkles on it and a tassel as well. That is so cute. And I got these 3 bookmarks for only £8, which is just so good. And then I got one based off my favourite book, The Love Hypothesis. This is the cutest thing ever. Oh my god, I love it so much. And as you can see, they are double-sided, which is so cool. I think this one's going to be my favourite because it is based off The Love Hypothesis. The last one I ordered is this really cute one that says "Never underestimate the power of a girl with a book," which is just adorable. Definitely check out this website. And I'm going to order some more off her because she so kindly, after I ordered, gave me a discount code for 20% off. So I'm definitely going to be using that and ordering more bookmarks because these are just beautiful. And they're not bad priced at all. I think originally they're like £4, which is not bad at all for how beautifully designed they are and how good quality they are. I've just finished Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is a 5-star read. It was incredible. I really enjoyed Stephanie Garber's writing. The characters in this were really well written and really interesting as well. Especially Jax. Like how evil he was, but he had like little moments where he showed that he cared for Evangeline, but did he actually care? That's the big question. Or did he just want her for the prophecy? You just don't know with him, which made him so interesting. And you still don't know with him by the end of it. You don't know what's going on in his mind and what he's thinking, which just makes it way more intriguing and makes you want to keep reading the series to find out more about his character. He definitely stood out the most in this series, in this book, Evangeline were great, but there's just, whenever Jax were in it, it just made it so much better. So yeah, really loved his character. As you can tell, he was probably my favourite character. But Evangeline is up there as well. I really liked her character. It never got boring. There was constantly things happening, constantly things going on, which sometimes in books there can be too much going on, but this was perfect. It was perfectly paced. It was really easy to follow, which I'm thankful for, because obviously it is a fantasy and it's my first fantasy. And everyone says that this is a great one to start off with, and I totally agree with that. Definitely recommend this if you want to get into fantasy. I am truly obsessed with this book. It is a 5-star read, and this book has changed things for me now. I feel like I'm going to be more critical with books now, because there's just something about it that's just so incredible and amazing. And I'm gonna go buy the next book, because I need to be back in this world and I need to know more, because so many questions are still unanswered. There's still so much that hasn't even been talked about, hasn't even been answered, and it's just like, I need to know. That is all my updates on this book, and I'm going to be starting the next book that's one of Hayley Pham's 5-star reads, and I'm not surprised she gave this 5 stars. So far this video is going really well, so Hayley Pham's recommendations are definitely strong, because so far the two books that I've read I've really enjoyed. This one is my favourite so far, and I feel like it's going to stay that way, but we'll see what happens. The next book in this video is going to be The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager.
This book is an easy 5 stars for me, and I am going to go as far as to say I think this is in my top 5, maybe top 3 books of all time.
A book that has been on my TBR for literally ages. I still haven't read it, so I'm finally getting to it, finally gonna read it. And I think I put it off because, one, the font inside of this book is absolutely tiny, which I hate and just instantly makes me not want to read a book. And I probably wouldn't have bought this if I checked the font before buying it, but I'm glad I bought it because I do feel like I'm going to enjoy this thriller. Like, it sounds so interesting, and I have actually read the first 50 pages. And I'm enjoying it so far. Basically all that's happened so far is I've learnt a lot about Casey's past and why she is the way she is and why her mum sent her to this lake. Basically Casey is mourning her husband, and she ends up being really reckless and doing a lot of reckless things because she just can't process the fact that she's lost her husband. And her mum tells her that she should go to this lake, her family lake house, to try and move on, to take some peace, to mourn her husband. And while she's there, she ends up meeting the couple across the lake, and she's very mesmerised by this couple, and she starts to watch them from her house using binoculars. To be honest, this couple is very strange. Like, their behaviours are really strange. It seems like they're hiding something from each other, which is really interesting. Casey's character, I don't trust her at all. I feel like she's an unreliable character. I feel like she's done some things, or she's going to do something that's going to be really, really bad. One thing I will say before I start reading, one thing about this book is it had such a strong start. Like, so much is happening already, and you're learning a lot about the character Casey, as I said, and that just makes you want to keep reading. Sadly, last night I was just getting too tired while reading, so I had to stop and go to sleep, but I'm gonna read. I'm up to page 112. I have no idea what chapter it is because this book doesn't have chapter numbers. Something that's really good about this book is it is dual timeline as well, so you have the past and the present, which is really, really cool because it really sets up the story. Right now one of the characters is looking really suspicious, but I don't feel like I feel like he's suspicious and he has done something, but I feel like there's going to be a bigger twist because it would be too obvious. That's what I'm thinking anyway, but everything is pointing to him right now, but I feel like there's going to be some sort of big twist. I wasn't expecting there to be hints of romance in this book, like, at all, so that was a bit of a surprise. I am enjoying this book, but I don't know what it is, the writing feels a bit plain to me. It's not gripping me as much as I feel like it should. I'm sort of just reading it, enjoying it, but not really feeling much while reading it, if that makes sense. So right now it's feeling like a 3.5, and none of the twists so far have really had me, like, you know, like jaw on the floor or anything. I've sort of just been, it's just a bit plain to me, really. I don't know, and I don't like feeling that way because this video's been going really well. I have a couple issues with it that's making me not like it as much as I wish I was liking it. But I'm going to keep reading. I am over halfway now, so if I were going to enjoy it more, I feel like that would have already happened. I mean, if it has like the most shocking ending in the world and like it gets more and more intense, then my rating could go up, hopefully. I'm going to stop reading for now. I was planning to finish this today, but I'm enjoying the book, but it feels like I've been reading all day, which usually when I'm reading a book that I really enjoy, it doesn't feel like that. Like, I just feel like it's dragging a little bit. I feel like I'm reading it really slow. Like, I'm up to page 208 and I've read 150 pages today, and it feels like I've read those 150 pages and it's took me like 6 hours, which is kind of bad. It feels like it's taking a lot longer than it actually is. It's just really slow, I don't know why. But yeah, I'm going to stop reading for now. I might read a bit more later, I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel. Hi, so it is the next day now and I have 100 pages left of this book. And where I ended last night, it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm intrigued to see where that goes. I'm really conflicted with this book. Like, I'm enjoying it, but it's not gripping me, if that makes sense. Like, it's not making me, I don't feel like picking it up. Like, when I put it down, I don't feel like picking it back up. And I'm really sad about that because I was hoping I'd really enjoy this, but oh no. Something's happened in this book that's really outlandish and a bit ridiculous, and I don't know how I feel about it. It were a good twist, but in the same way I'm like, that's just a bit ridiculous and I don't know if I can actually enjoy this book now. I'm gonna be real with you guys, it's a lot later now. I ended up, after reading like 10 pages of this, getting the worst migraine possible, and I've had that migraine all day. And it's only just gone when I started reading this again, like an hour ago. But I have finished it. Sadly, I'm giving this a 2-star because it was just so slow for me. I just didn't really enjoy it. I feel like I wasted my time reading it. At first it was enjoyable, but as I went on it got more and more just, I just want to be over with this book. I can't be bothered reading it anymore. That's kind of how it felt. I just don't think this is my kind of thriller. Obviously I can't say why I didn't like it because that would be spoilers and I can't say spoilers. But the twists in this didn't work with me. I just wasn't shocked at all. Didn't really make me feel thrilled at all. It was just I just didn't enjoy it. I can see why people do enjoy this book if they're into these kind of thrillers, but personally I just aren't into these kind of twists in thriller books. So that is why I'm going to be giving it a 2-star. And I'm sad because I feel like I will love thriller books, but I've only liked A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy so far and 5 Survived. The 2 thrillers that I've read from other authors that aren't Holly Jackson, I haven't liked. But hopefully soon I will find a thriller that I really love. But sadly this just wasn't it. And I'm sad because Hayley Fan loved this book and I just didn't, but that's my opinion. Everyone's allowed their own opinions. But at least the other 2 books that I did in this video were absolutely incredible. These are the 3 books we read in this video. We have The Do-Over, which I gave 4.5 stars. This was the cutest thing ever. I loved it so much. Then we read Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I gave 5 stars. This book has changed things for me. This was incredible. And then we have The House Across the Lake, which I sadly gave 2 stars. I actually thought I'd enjoy this, but I just didn't. I probably will do a part 2 to this video because this was so fun and I really enjoyed reading Hayley Fan's 5 stars. And she has a lot of books that she's gave 5 stars, so I'll definitely be able to make a part 2. And I am going to do these videos with other YouTubers as well, because it's just nice to figure out if I like the books that these booktubers are recommending. and this was like really successful. Besides this one, we're just going to ignore that one. These two were very successful, and I'm so glad that I read them because they were amazing and I loved them so much. But yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!